Okay guys, so I wanted to do a video talking about some of the news that has come out from DC Comics, and actually this flew by me last night, and I only knew about some of it from my friend Sid Part 2, we were having a talk last night. So I did know some of the stuff regarding the animated films, but I didn't know about some of the comic stuff that is coming out, specifically from Grant Morrison. So I figured I'd want to talk about it. I figured, yeah, what the hell, I'll do a video doing one big roundup for all the important stuff. And yes, I did see the little teaser of the Justice League, and then it says, "Who watches the Watchmen?" We ain't getting more shit till November. Yeah, I just gotta fucking wait for that longer. Just make us wait. Anyway, so, but yeah, some of the other stuff that came out was pretty cool. I'm gonna talk about the comic stuff first, because that kind of flew by under everyone's radar. So, here's the thing that happened. Grant Morrison announced a couple comics that he's going to be doing. Two of which is Wonder Woman Earth 1 Volume 2. That should come out. I haven't read Volume 1 because I'm a poor bastard. And two, and this is the more interesting one, he's doing a sequel to his comic Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on a Serious Earth. And he's doing it as a sequel to, in a tie-in to one of his pre-52 works, Batman issue 666. That's right, Damian Wayne timeline. Damian Wayne Batman timeline. Yeah. Does that not just, like the moment I heard that, the moment Sid Part 2 told me that, I was like, you serious? Okay. The thing is that the 666 timeline is it's very interesting because at that timeline, it's Damian Wayne Batman. And, yeah, Damian Wayne Batman is, shall we say, a bit extreme? And, yeah, to have it as a sequel to A Serious House on a Serious Earth is a really cool idea, and make it a sequel in that, so it's a sequel to a comic that to a graphic novel that didn't really have a lot of continuity, and I really love Arkham Asylum, I really love that comic. I really love it. I have the 15th year anniversary for it. And a little background, because it is known as the most purchased graphic novel of all time. Here's the reason why. Here is the big reason as to why that is. When Batman Forever came out, people were like, oh shit, I want to read some more Batman, and that was the graphic novel at the time. I really feel bad for all the parents who got that for their kids as a present. I really feel bad for all of them, because that is not an age-appropriate comic. If you've read the comic, then you know what I mean. So, to do a sequel after so many years, I think is really cool, and that was the comic that really got Morrison in his foot in the door, really. And I think that was his first big comic. Then he did Gothic, which is also really awesome. And then he got his Batman run. And this is what I really love about Morrison. The guy has obviously voiced his problems with the comic industry, but the thing is that he understands the nature of the beast. He understands that, yeah, it's an industry and you can't do this, and that. But I think Morrison has a understanding of it and will come and work on, on terms because, yeah, guy gotta get paid, and plus, he wants to tell stories with these characters. So, yeah, I think, yeah, that's the one thing that I've loved about Grant Morrison is that even he's in the sense that he's, I like him more than Alan Moore. Sorry, Alan Moore fans, and if you are an Alan Moore fan, that's totally fine. No ill will against you. It's just, I've always kind of liked Grant Morrison more for that, rather than he will voice his complaints, but he'll still kind of work through it. If that makes any sense. I don't know. So, yeah, and yeah, to have him do, like I said, to have him do a comic of a timeline of a universe that has no set continuity to one that he built, it's so Morrison, It is so Grant Morrison, I'm definitely picking up that comic when it comes out. Because I really want to see, like, what Arkham Asylum is. I think because it's been a while, actually it's been a while since I read issue 666 from Batman. It's been a long-ass time, really. So, maybe, I don't think they revealed Arkham Asylum, so I really want to see what Arkham Asylum looks like in the mind of Grant Morrison from Damian Wayne's perspective. This ought to be fun. This ought to be fun, ladies and gentlemen. This ought to be fun. Anywho, let's talk about the DC animated film news. The biggest one is going to be another two-parter coming from DC Comics, being The Death of Superman. That is right, they are doing what looks like the entire Death and Reign and Return of Superman comic in two films, just like they did Dark Knight Returns. Dark Knight Returns. But here's the thing, and this has already got me a little worried, is that with Dark Knight Returns, it was a 4-issue comic. So they basically did the first 2 issues in part 1, and then issues 3 and 4 in the second part. Death of Superman and the following storylines are gigantic storylines that lasted almost like 2 years. 2-3 years, give or take. So, I don't know, it's not like with Dark Knight Returns where it's like 4 issues and you could just split it up into 2 issues into 2 movies. Here, it's a little more difficult because it's a fucking saga! It's a fucking saga. And, man, I really think that they're gonna have to cut some stuff out. I mean, obviously, the fact that they're going to do the entire, I think you can do, and you're actually wondering to yourself right now, but Zilla, they kind of did all of that in one movie in Superman Doomsday. Yeah, the problem was it was Superman Doomsday. You guys remember that movie? I try not to. So the fact that they're doing it again, and they're like, what if instead we actually did the Death of Superman comic? The actual story. And I really love Death of Superman. But I don't know, and you could actually do an entire movie around his death, but to do a story around, Reign of the Superman and then Return of the Superman in one film, it's kind of like my problem with, I would love to see a Nightfall movie, but there's so much to Nightfall that, there's so much in Nightfall itself, as well as Night Quest and Night's End, that I don't know if you can do 2 movies just to tell that story. And you may be thinking, well, what if they did 3 movies? I doubt DC would be willing to do 3 movies. They're already shelling out a lot for another 2-parter. I can tell you right now that shit ain't gonna fly. So, oh boy. Anywho, am I interested in this? Yeah. Am I nervous about it? Yeah. Because again, I don't know if they can tell the entire story. And the other thing is that they weren't clear on if it being its own continuity or being in the continuity of the New 52 Rebirth timeline that they set up in Justice League Flashpoint Paradox. I don't know if they're going to continue that story, if they're going to have it in that universe. I don't know at this time. The article I read from was very like, what's the word? Vague. Why did I forget that word? I've been spacing a lot lately. That's probably not a good sign. Anyway, but am I interested? Yeah. It's, God bless them, despite quality, I'll give DC this, is that at least they've been consistent with these DC animated films. So, I'll give them that. But, yeah. This, I don't know, I'm nervous about it because it's, like I said, it's a giant saga. I don't know if you can tell the entire saga in the length. If it was like a feature length, then maybe. But you gotta understand that these movies are not long. These are not long movies. So, I don't know what to tell you guys. I really don't. So, but I will give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. I will say that. But I think out of all the news that has come out, I'm most excited for Arkham Asylum 2. I can't wait to see the Damian Timeline's representation of all those villains, especially done by Grant Morrison. So you guys tell me, out of all the news you've heard from DC, what are you guys most excited about? Are you guys excited for Arkham Asylum 2, Wonder Woman Earth 1 Volume 2? Just comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.